Hello, hi, Sienna here again. Nice to see you. Welcome to my channel if it's your first time, or welcome back if you're here again. I really appreciate it. And here on my channel, I just like to complain about how weird the world is. So that's what we're doing again today. And so for today's video, basically, I was thinking about how when I first got engaged, I started looking into wedding venues in the area, and I knew from the get-go that I did not want to spend a lot of money on my wedding in general, let alone on the venue. So I wanted to get that narrowed down right away and do it as in the most affordable way as possible. And as I've mentioned before, I live in Montana, and it'd be really cool if I could get married in Montana, but we ended up not going that route because just a lot of the venues here are incredibly pricey, outrageously so, and they don't have really all that much to offer for the price, I feel. So today I just wanted to show you a couple of wedding venues that I found. I decided to go back and see, kind of reaffirm my choice to not get married in Montana. I'm getting married in the state of Washington instead. And yeah, after the few that I saw today, I've definitely made the right choice. Not only are a lot of the Montana venues just not personally my aesthetic, but yeah, I found some really crazy prices. So I just wanted to share those with you. I want to start out by saying I'm not going to show exact photos of the locations, and I'm not going to name these venues just because I don't want to badmouth them or anything. Get your bag. I totally understand why they're so pricey, but also just I personally do not find the value for the prices that they're posting right now. So that being said, it's going to be a little bit vague, but I'm going to read you some of their details and what you get for what you pay for. And yeah, so let's get started.
1. Let's get started.
So I want to start with this one, which is really popular on Wedding Wire. It has a 5-star rating, only 4 reviews, but 5 stars nonetheless, good for them. They're in Livingston, Montana, which is about 45 minutes outside of Bozeman, which is probably one of the more recognizable cities of Montana. Livingston is where Yellowstone, the TV show, is filmed, and also it's right next to the actual Yellowstone Park, so it's really a beautiful location. But you have to keep in mind, there's not a lot going on out there. Once you get to the venue, that's probably where you're gonna have to stay. You're not gonna be able to run down to any convenience stores or even a Walmart. There's literally nothing out there. They have a McDonald's, a gas station, and a Super One grocery store, I think, and that's the town. So you'll be out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, basically in all of their pictures, I'm going to put up stock photos of what's basically what it looks like. So it's really just kind of in the middle of the woods in someone's backyard. It's got this nice big house, and then you get to have your wedding in their backyard. Very cool. They say they can have up to 150 guests, which that's all right. I feel the average is around about 150, but I've definitely seen weddings with 300 people or more. But where it gets interesting is the starting price. So I guess we should start with, what are they offering? So they say that they have sleeping accommodations for up to 34 people. So you bring 150 people with you, only 30 of them can stay, and the rest get to stay. There might be a Best Western in Livingston, if I remember correctly, and 30 minutes away there's hotels in Bozeman. So the important thing I wanted to look at was what is included once you book the venue. Is there food? Is there do you get to sleep there? And we've already solved the accommodation question. It says they have get ready rooms, they're pet friendly, and they have Wi-Fi. Those are okay. So I guess tables, chairs, decor, any transportation, they have parking, and that is what they offer. And that will all be for the beautiful price of $12,000. That's the starting price. It does say that in, peak season, it is a starting price of So that's off peak season, $12,000, and that's just for the reception. If you want to have your ceremony there too, that's a $7,500 price on top of the $12,000. So $12,000 for your reception, $7,500 for your ceremony, and that's only if you want to get married November through May. So if you're a summer bride, it's going to be looking more like $32,000 for your reception, and then if you also want to have your ceremony there, $7,500. So June through October, it will be $32,000. Well, I'm assuming most people, if you're going all the way out here, you probably want to have your ceremony there too, so that's going to be just under $40,000, $39,500. Cool. And like I said, you get the backyard for that. They don't mention if you have to stay, like if you have other people stay, if you have to pay for that. I'm sure that's something you can ask later on. But yeah, so if you want to get married in June in Livingston, Montana, you're looking at a starting price of about, $39,000. So very cool. Like I said, Montana venues just aren't my aesthetic to begin with, and I already have a backyard in Montana, so I would much rather just personally have the wedding in my backyard for free, especially if nothing's coming with it. There's no mention of food, there's no mention of like setup help, there, like I said, no tables and chairs, so those are all costs, so you're really just paying for the space for this one. Yikes. Whew. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. This one is a lodge. It's in the same general area. They have up to 250 guests, which is a little better. They have a barn that you're welcome to rent out as well. It says that they're full service with on-site catering and event coordination available, but that does not say it's included in the package. So I guess for an extra additional mystery fee, there are accommodations, bartending services, bridal suite, cake, cleanup, event planning, event rentals, liability insurance, lighting and sound, parking, and setup. Interesting. And then it says you can choose from a variety of serving options, including buffet, family style, hors d'oeuvres, and plated meals. Inquire with the vendor to learn more about the options. So that makes it sound like, you're going to have to pay for the food in addition to the venue. So food is not included with this one. So what is included with the starting fee? So a bridal suite is included, that's nice. Chairs, china, cleanup, flatware, glassware, linens, parking, and tables. Okay, so the tables are included, the chairs are included, that's nice. A lot of people forget that that's not always included. What's included in the cost of the catering? The servers, so you don't have to pay your waiters. Cool. Oh, and there is a fee per person for the bar service, so if you want to have alcohol, it's $75 per person. So, I am not very good at math, but I know that's a lot of money for 250 people. Alright, so are we ready? Drumroll please for the full price. The full starting price for off-season, right? Off-peak season is $25,000 for the reception, and if you would also like to have your ceremony, it's another $25,000 with an average starting price of $40,000. Or no, average price of $60,000. My bad. And then peak season, of course, $30,000 for your reception and $30,000 for your ceremony, plus that bar service fee. Oh, I forgot to give you a little description of what this place looks like. Is a lot nicer than the first one I was looking at, but it's another, it's somebody's really nice house and they're letting you use their backyard again. Maybe they'll put a tent up for you. So yeah, cool stuff. And then the last one, this one I just took personal offense to because it's literally right next door. I could walk to this one, so I've seen it in person, and it's just a trailer in someone's backyard, so you can rent out their trailer and have your wedding there. It says up to 100 guests, but I don't know where they would all go. Definitely not in the trailer. I guess in the yard, yes. So this one is called a cabin. It's a trailer, like one of those tiny home plastic trailers you can get at Home Depot that everyone's renovating nowadays. What is included? Oh, parking. You can park for free. What event services do you offer? Wi-Fi. Cool, at least you get free Wi-Fi. Yeah, so if you want to have a trailer in someone's backyard, you could do that for off-peak season starting at $8,900. This is another area where you're not going to have, there are no hotels in this area, just so you know. The closest hotel is probably about 30 minutes away, and it's just like, you know, a Hilton Garden or whatever. There's one bar, two, do you count casinos like in gas stations as bars in the area? I mean, the lake is nearby. There's plenty of fun stuff to do if you're an outdoorsy person, but if you like are a wedding guest and you want to stay in a nice area, you're going to have to travel at least 30 minutes after the wedding. And yeah, there's definitely not like restaurants out here. There's one, maybe two restaurants here. So yeah, I would not even want to think about catering for this one because it would have to be all outside, so you'd have to get picnic tables or something, and they don't offer tables or anything. So I guess, yikes. Yeah, I would not want to plan around this one personally. And once again, I didn't know that we were all just renting out our backyards and putting trailers out there and calling that a wedding venue, but apparently I could just do that right now and make a good $20,000 without having to do anything except for free Wi-Fi. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. A little salty, I know, but like, man, I am just really saddened by the amount of people that are just cool with taking advantage of young couples who just want to have a nice fun time out and about in the wilderness or whatever. Like, yes, make your money, but also if you have a mansion in Montana on 400 acres, do you really need an extra $40,000 every month for, like, I don't think cleanup costs that much. And there doesn't seem to be much else offered. You already have the tables and chairs, so those aren't costing you $40,000. So yeah, I'm just sad that so many people are getting taken advantage of because they don't know like how this pricing has worked out. And I think that a lot of vendors have figured out, oh, I can really slap like any price I want on here and do literally nothing, and someone will still come get married here. But yeah, like I said, no hate to these vendors at all. They're just trying to like make a living, which is totally understandable. I just also think if you're going to ask someone for 5 figures, that maybe you should do a little more than free Wi-Fi. Maybe, but that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think I'll do another state next, kind of look at what vendors are offering in other locations. Obviously, there are some cheaper options in the area. It's still not exactly like, I don't feel like you're getting what you're paying for. Even if it's $3,000 in someone's backyard, it's still someone's backyard. You might as well have used your own, especially if they're not offering tables and chairs. Like, what? I don't understand what the point is. If they're there to help and they're offering you some sort of advice that you can get elsewhere, that makes sense to me, and that's a little more understandable. But still, like, why are we allowing people to upcharge us this much just for one day? So anyway, yeah, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Would you get married somewhere like this, and do these prices seem reasonable to you? Let me know. I'm very interested to hear, because personally I just don't find these very reasonable. But yeah, so I will see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.